Is Dragon Age The Veilguard worth your money? No, it's not, and I'm going to tell you why, so let's talk about it. Oh boy, where to begin? There's so little that I liked about this game that I might as well try and get that out of the way before I just start ranting about my experience that I had. I do like how many skills the game has for you to unlock. It's a good variety and there's a lot for you to unlock in this game. I also do like that the vendors have different items in towns, so it kind of makes it a little worthwhile to travel to new towns to see what the vendors have and don't have. And that's about it. Everything else in this game is bad. First, no one in the world looks like they belong. Everyone looks like they belong more in a game like Life is Strange than they do Dragon Age. It's like I'm talking to a ton of bobblehead hipsters. Everyone's head is way too big for their bodies, everyone looks either ugly or like a hipster, and no one looks like they belong in the world filled with demons and monsters and dragons. Everyone looks way too clean. The dialogue is also cringy, boring. I hated it. I hated talking to anyone in this game. It feels like they hired the most boring people to write the dialogue in this game, and they made every single character you meet unlikable. I did not like anybody on my team, like in other past BioWare games where I did like my team. Everyone on my team has one personality trait. It's being super woke and super cringy.
Did Mythal call Solus love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they express things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
Whether they were doing it or not.
The story is also nothing great. You have to stop two evil gods that got unleashed into the world. No one's willing to help or believe you until, of course, it's too late and you have to take them down with your ragtag group of losers. Sound familiar? It should. It's the same plot of Mass Effect. The only difference is that the Mass Effect crew was likable. And the world building in this game, it's bad. Traveling in the world is boring. All you do is enter into this void-like place in order to go anywhere. So you never get to see any of the cities that you're going off to travel towards in the distance or meet travelers along your way. You never get to explore. You run around some dream realm-like place where you can explore it if you really wish to, but it's nothing exciting, it all looks the same, and then once you're done with that, you get teleported to the town that you're trying to travel to through some mirror door. You have no idea how far anything is, the scale or size of the world. Everything just seems so small. It's like you're teleporting around everywhere you go, even if you're not using the fast travel system. It just doesn't seem like you explore or go on an adventure, you just appear. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't finish this game. Not that I didn't try, I just couldn't. I just didn't care to finish it anymore. The story is subpar at best, all of the characters suck, the gameplay is bad, and the boss fights in this game are an awful joke that someone at BioWare decided to pull on people. What they do to make it harder is make you fight a boss, then you beat it, and then you get to fight it again. But now there are two of them, and in some cases, three. And they're always just an exact clone of the boss you just fought. And the side quests in this game, they're so bad. All of it was so boring. All you do is run around, collect an item, talk to someone, listen to some terrible dialogue, and then you rinse and repeat over and over. All the side quests are virtually the same. It just seems like they did all of this to pad out the game, to seem like it's longer than it is. And the gameplay is nothing new. It's not even anything good. If you've ever played a game like New World, it plays a little similar to that, but it's a lot worse in almost every way. You have 3 skills that you can have equipped. You have a range attack, a jump attack, a heavy, light, and a charge attack. The charge attack will sometimes not work. If the game thinks that you're sprinting or you're moving too quickly or you're just doing something that you shouldn't be doing instead of standing perfectly still and holding the charge down button, you're going to do a regular light attack. The dodging also picks and chooses when it wants to work. Sometimes you dodge something and it looks like you should have gotten out of it, as the game sometimes has invincibility frames, but it seems to pick and choose when to apply it. Enemies can also attack through each other, and they love to spam ranged attacks. So while you're in the middle of a fight with someone, you also have to worry about attacks coming through that enemy and hitting you, as you have very little time to react towards that. Your allies are also useless. They don't do anything. They just kind of stand around unless you command them to do something. They just wait. I guess it's a good thing that they can't die, but it definitely breaks the immersion of the game when you realize that your teammate can tank 37 hits from an enemy that you can only tank 3 to 4 hits from. At least you can do a combo attack with your teammates, so I guess that's kind of good, but it doesn't help much. Also, why can't I see the level required for the mission before I go on the mission? Why do I have to find out while I'm in the middle of the mission that I'm under-leveled? It makes it completely unbearable when you do land on a mission that you're like, oh, this is way higher level than I expected it to be. I can't do this. Well, tough luck. You can't leave because you're mid-mission. You have to reload a different save in order to continue. It just seems so badly designed. Like, nobody cared. That's the main reason I stopped playing this game. I got to a boss fight and I had to fight a dragon, only for him to get fully healed after I beat him, and the game decided to make me fight another dragon. So now there's 2 of the same dragon that I have to fight that spam fireballs, that fly through each other, that spam fire across the map, both of them, and I have 0 control in any of them while I'm doing almost no damage because I'm under-leveled. And the only way for me to fix it is either reset the game and lower the difficulty, or reload to a different save and then just spam a bunch of boring side quests. And why can't you be evil anymore? I tried so hard to be a bad guy in this game, and it just feels like you can't. I don't know if maybe the options change towards the end of the game, but every option is the most vanilla option imaginable. It's like the writers are scared to give the player any rude or evil options. I tried so hard to play as the bad guy, and I ended up looking like the caring hero that's in it to save the world.
Sounds like I'm cleaning up your mess.
Rook.
No, Harding. This is my mess.
The Inquisition saved the world.
We solved a problem, and in doing so, accidentally created several new problems. Too many leaders claim credit while avoiding responsibility. I won't be one of them. So, Rook, I am asking you to help me clean up my mess.
Okay.
I also don't see any point in replaying this game at all. The different options that you get to pick seem like they don't really do anything. It seems like the outcomes would be virtually the same regardless of what I picked. The one time that I thought maybe my choices will actually have an impact on the game was when I got to a point where I had to choose the fate between 2 towns. One town I ended up saving, and the other town I left to its doom. Only to find out when I went to the other town, yeah, it did look a little bit worse to wear, but no one cared. Everyone welcomed me into the town with open arms like I was the hero. It just made no sense. Also, the PC port of this game is bad. Don't get this on PC. Don't even get this game. But if you were to get it, don't get it on PC. It was a terrible experience all the way through. First, I try to play this on controller, as the game looks like a controller game now, as it went away from its Dragon Age roots. So I plugged in my controller, tried to play, only to find out that for whatever reason, my right trigger seemed to randomly activate whenever I didn't mean to press it or wouldn't press it at all. It would just do it at random moments. And this is with controller on PC, right? I don't know about any other, I don't know how it is on PlayStation or on Xbox, but for whatever reason, whenever I move the ballista with the right stick, it insta-shoots. Even though R2 should be shoot, it will insta-shoot. Watch. It instantly shoots. I then thought, maybe it's my controller. Maybe I can't blame the game for this. Maybe my controller I bought 2 months ago is bad or defected. So I plugged in a new controller and had the exact same issue. So then I thought, okay, this game doesn't want me to play on controller, I'll play on mouse and keyboard. Only to then find out that the dodge button didn't work for whatever reason, and in order for me to fix this, I had to look online for a fix by someone else. And the fix doesn't even make sense. In order for me to fix it, I had to set my controller trigger dead zone to the max. Not sure why a controller option had an input on my keyboard action, but it did apparently. What happened? What happened to this franchise? I remember when Dragon Age Origins came out and how epic it was, how gritty and real the world felt, how bloody and dangerous everything was. They just got rid of all of it. It's almost like the whole vision of this game was just to be woke, and that's it. That's all they cared about. That's all the world building that they cared about, was make it woke. No one cared to make any cool moments, no one cared to make any cool characters, no one cared for the story, no one cared for the gameplay. And even in the aspects of it being woke, it sucks. It's cringy, it's done awkwardly. There are way better options out there for games that are woke. Baldur's Gate 3, for example, Cyberpunk, Life is Strange. There are so many better options out there. I hated this game. Nothing about this game impressed me. Nothing about this game was fun. Nothing about this game was worth the money or my time that I spent on it. And I spent about 25 hours trying to force myself into playing this game. The game fails as an adventure game, it fails as an RPG, and it fails at everything else it does. So, with all of that being said, what would I rate the game? First, we'll start with the graphics. The world doesn't look bad and has its moments. Character design is terrible. Next, onto the story. Story is subpar, writing is terrible, and no likable characters in the game. Next to the gameplay, game is boring, choices you make are unrewarding, but the game does have a lot of skills for you to unlock. Next, onto the performance. Game is a complete mess on PC. Controller support is super buggy. Game also would stutter a lot. And onto the sound. Music is fine, but nothing really stood out. Overall, Dragon Age The Veilguard gets a 1 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching my review. Leave a comment down below if you're interested in Dragon Age The Veilguard, and if so, why? Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It would mean the world to me, and if you like this content, you can get more like it in the near future. Thanks again. I've been Flame TP, and I'll see you all next time.